in terms of the services that we offer, I mean, it used to be extremely traditional, just an advisory. So you'd see the same structure as in any management consulting. So we did the advisory part, we did the research part, and we had the training and coaching elements. Now, in terms of the advisory, I focus on strategy. So a lot of the work that I do revolves around either strategic design, strategy implementation, monitoring, setting up key performance indicators, working with different organizations on setting directions, companies who would like to shift their positions, companies who would like to, going through mergers or acquisitions, things that have to do with larger strategic shifts in an organization. That's something that we love to focus on because it's a time of change. And that's something that we do very well because we include a behavioral element as well in all of our services. So we've got affiliated our services with different experts in psychology and organizational behavior, because all of these different projects, like I said, because they're big shift projects. So if you're trying to grow or expand into a different market, you're looking for investors, or you're thinking about a merger, an acquisition, a buyout, any of that brings with it a large amount of change. And just going through with my experience, I found that it's not the project that fails. It's not because you don't have the right system. It's not because you don't have the right policy. It's because the culture and the people are not on the same page as this document. So a big part of what we do in our advisories is bring in this element as well. So we do a lot of coaching with our advisory as well. We bring in people. We try to work with different, biases. We work with different cultural elements within the organization. So we do that a lot with the advisory. We do research. One of the most interesting, I think, research projects that we've done for the industrial sector in Kuwait. So we did a skill gap analysis in the industrial sector in Kuwait, and that has helped one of the organizations who are really kind of focusing on the industrial sector. They're called the Kuwait Industries Union, and they have about 300 plus members of industrial companies and organizations. So we've done this study for them because they wanted to understand how can they actually tailor their learning and professional development to what is actually needed in the industry. And it makes me very proud to say that they've been working based off of the results of this research for the past few years. So all of their learning and development have been geared towards the futuristic look of what the industrial sector should look like in Kuwait. So we do the advisory, we do the research, but my favorite part of all of this, of everything that we do, is the training and coaching. So we do the corporate training, we do, the normal, the company calls you and you go out and do a specific training program. But I've always felt like that was taking power away from the learner. Right. And that is something, you can come in, I can stand up for 3 hours. I can give you a PowerPoint presentation on strategic planning for 3 days. And I promise you, the learning outcome is probably going to be about 10 to 20% as you're exiting this training. And it's not because you're unmotivated. It's not because I'm bad. It's because that's the reality. I took away the accountability and responsibility of your learning. And so we started doing things a little bit different. So I started something called personalized learning experiences. And these are much smaller, more intimate learning opportunities, let's say. So I'm not there as a lecturer. I'm not there as a trainer. I'm there as a facilitator of your learning. We work through specific issues. We work on specific projects, any specific challenges that the company is going through. So people get this very intimate one-on-one experience where they can actually walk through the different challenges that they have and reach some kind of a actionable solution where they can say, I can do this. They walk out of this PLE saying, this is something that I can, let me try it and I'll come back to you and I'll tell you how that works. So we started shifting a little bit. We do the coaching as well. So we do C-level coaching, mainly people who are in transition. So we've worked with people who are going from VP to president. We worked with people who are moving from department head to VP, for example. So all these people in transition, and I don't know if you're picking up on the theme, but I'm a big person for change. I love it. I love managing it. I love working around it because that's what happens in real life, right? Everything looks beautiful on a piece of paper. If I come and say, oh, if you just do 1, 2, 3, then you're going to be able to execute the strategy and it's going to be perfect. But the reality is not like that. The reality is there are politics, there are hidden agendas, there are organizational behaviors that you have to worry about. There are some corporate level habits that we have to kind of cut through. All of these things, I believe, are what makes our interaction with our clients very different, because when I walk in, I have truly the desire to understand the company and the people I'm working with on a very deep, philosophical, personal level. That's going to help me tailor the work that we're doing, for the clients. And with the training, for example, like I don't have like off the shelf training. So a lot of companies, and I remember a lot of people were saying, I don't know why you're doing this. It's the same program. Why don't you just use what you had before, or the cases or the talking points or whatever? And I can't do it because I'm dealing with different people all the time. And it's a different organization that I'm working with. They have different needs. They've got different people. It's a different culture. So I literally design a training program for every single client, even if it's the same client doing the same program. Again, I will do a different program for them because now they're at a different level in their skills. So we have to do that. So I don't do any of off the shelf kind of training. Everything is tailored, everything is customized. And like I said, there's always this psychological element that will come with it, because we want to make sure that people are comfortable. They understand they've got a say in what is happening around them. We spend so much time in our companies, even more so than in our homes and with our families. So it's a big part of our identity and who we are. And to go in and to just uphold all of this and say, all right, this is new. This is what's happening. All right, adapt, start working. That makes a lot of the larger strategy initiatives, go down in flames. So I feel like in the myriad of these different services, there are some common parts where, it kind of makes us a little bit different. It's my little blue ocean that I tried to create, instead of just going out and competing with a company that has, that puts out a 300 to 1,000 training programs a year. We don't do that. I'm very happy with a small, more loyal kind of relationship with my clients. Most of my clients I've had relationship with for over 6 or 7 years, and that just, I feel like it gives us a lot of credibility and value when we're talking to no clients or talking to new people who are trying to understand more about our services.